Welcome back to day 65 of biking from Norway to South Africa. We started off the day in Bruges in Belgium, and we ended up in Dover, England, passing through France along the way. So 3 countries in one day made today a very big day. We had about 60 miles to Dunkirk, which was where we were hopping our ferry. So we had to get up kind of early to make sure that we had enough time to get to the ferry an hour before they left. So the ferry was leaving at 6 and we wanted to be there at 5. So we left around 9:30 in the morning, which should have given us plenty of time, but the wind was absolutely killer today. On flat ground, we're usually going between like 11 and 12.5 miles an hour, and there were times that I was looking at my watch and I was going like 6.5, 7 miles an hour and like really struggling. So that was super unpleasant and not at all fun. Alex was able to find some like parallel routes that instead of taking us like right along the seaside had a little bit of tree cover or town cover, and so that helped out a bit. And the wind didn't last all day, but when it was strong it was like really bad, and it definitely erased our like comfortable time cushion. So we ended up not rushing, but like having to, hustle towards the end to make sure that we got to the ferry on time. We ended up getting there around 5:15, still 45 minutes early, but because they said to get there an hour early and I'm a very time anxious person, that was kind of giving me a little bit of stress. Also in this clip, we're riding right on the French-Belgian border, so the field to the left is France and we're in Belgium, and I thought that was really cool. We took some pictures with the French sign, of course, and then we had about 20 miles of riding in France before getting to the ferry terminal. The wind and weather kind of started to pick up again, but we really didn't have that far to go, so it was super manageable. And like I said, we got there around 5:15, which ended up not being an issue at all because the ferry was like an hour and a half late. The ride into the ferry terminal was like 2.5 kilometers long, and there were no other cars there, so it was a very interesting feeling. We went through border security, passport control, customs a couple times each, like for both France and England, not each of us, a couple of times, and then we sat around and waited for the ferry to come. When it eventually did, we got to load on first, which was super cool. So we rode on, got our bike stashed, and then went to go find a seat. The ride is only about 2 hours, so we killed some time by snacking on our Belgian chocolate that we got the day before. And as we pulled into Dover, we got the most beautiful view of the cliffs. It was absolutely stunning at sunset with the most beautiful light, and I just can't believe that we got ourselves here all the way from Tromsø in Norway. Like, it doesn't really feel real. The ferry unloaded and we got a little turned around leaving the ferry terminal, so some very nice police officers offered to show us the way out, which was super helpful. We biked over to our hostel, and that's the end of day 65. I'll see you tomorrow.